Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's almost 10 o'clock on June 25th, 2023. A humid day with some afternoon sunshine, and actually turned out pretty nice, even though it was very humid out there. We actually happened to have in the afternoon, late afternoon, some really nice blue skies, and yeah, I actually was in the pines again for a little bit. And this was actually taken with the CMOS sensor camera, so you can see the blues are better. I mean, the clouds did something on that picture that I know had a pole, and I don't know, for some reason the CCD just handled it better, but I think these pictures came out a little more like they should because we had no clouds. We had blue sky, very nice blue sky in the afternoon, something that's a rarity these days. It was very humid out there. So looking here, you'll see this is what things look like in the afternoon here. You can see lots of showers and thunderstorms all over New Jersey. But for Long Island, you can see here, very uniquely, we have a sea breeze front here. You see that sea breeze front right there, so I could draw it out. And let's just draw out that sea breeze front for a moment. Let's get my thing here. I'll draw it out for you. So this is your sea breeze front right over here. You can see it right there. There are some clouds, and actually touched off a shower on the North Shore, believe it or not. That sea breeze front. But you can see all the action is over here in New Jersey. And then as then we had some serious kind of spill over into western parts of Long Island as we got toward the afternoon. This is the high-resolution satellite. You can see clearer skies as you headed east. And that's we had. So as we got toward later in the afternoon, we had mostly sunny skies across Long Island. We will look at the other satellite loop as well. So this is the other satellite loop. Kind of shows what's going on pretty nicely. So let's see if we can show the sea breeze front moving through here. Yes, I need a little more. I'm going to need like 96 frames probably. Let's see if you can sort of see it. You can see, though, the clearer sky toward the afternoon and all the thunderstorms. All right, I'm going to have to run a 120 frame loop. The days are long, you know. There it is. There's the sea breeze front. So you can clearly see the sea breeze front. So this is, you can almost see a little area of rotation over there. And there were some actually severe thunderstorms there in parts of western, southwestern New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. For us here on Long Island, especially toward the afternoon, we had nice clear skies. It was really nice. It was very humid, not too hot, but you definitely sweated with the humidity out there. But one thing's sure, enjoying all that nice clear air. Look to the north, you can see all that wildfire smoke that fortunately we're not getting into. And yes, I would rather have a tropical air mass like this than deal with that smoke, obviously. I think most of us would, for sure, especially because it's not even that hot. It's just humid, which, isn't so bad. But you can see all that wildfire smoke there up in Quebec and Ontario there. Here, and there's your center of low pressure right over there where there was some storms. So let's go to the Ventu sky. And we'll put the Ventu sky on the screen, too. We'll rewind the radar here as well. So we'll rewind the radar to like 1 o'clock here, and you can see all the action over New Jersey. You can see all the action going over New Jersey. And then the sea breeze front kind of started moving across Long Island and touched off a few showers and thunderstorms on the North Shore. We are at 1:30. We still had some clouds over Long Island, but they kind of dissipated as we got toward 2:30, 3 o'clock. And you could see here all the thunderstorm activity, all in New Jersey. None of it over Long Island. There were some cells also in Connecticut as well. But all of that is off to the west. You could see that. As we go toward 6 o'clock, a few more cells pop up in central New Jersey. You can see one around Edison. But again, they were all well off to the west. We didn't really get anything except clouds on the horizon. So looking at the sky, we did have some clouds, some really pretty clouds toward 8 o'clock or so, showing you these really beautiful altocumulus clouds here. There's also some altocumulus castellanus, which is a classic thundery sky. That's what you have when you have that. It's beautiful, beautiful sky. As we got toward the end, there's some really beautiful colors in the sky. It was really actually quite incredible to see. Here you go again. Really, really beautiful clouds there. There's some altocumulus castellanus clouds, which often accompany thunderstorms. They call it a classic thundery sky, but all the thunderstorms are off to the west, and you have to look well on the western horizon to see there's a cumulonimbus cloud right there. And looking over here, you can see remnants of a cumulonimbus cloud and another remnant of another. This is actually a cumulonimbus thunderstorm over Connecticut. So let's go and look at our current conditions outside right now. And let's do that. Weather and Gotta find the thing. So many windows open, sometimes it's easy to get lost. And you can see we have more severe. We'll get to all that. Let's talk about the local stuff first. All right. So let's see what we got here. Waiting for the temperatures to load. Our current conditions to load, which would be nice. You know, this site, why is this site so damn slow? You know? It's like, it gets to the point where I should just use Wonderground, you know? It seems like maybe this site is down and it's not going to load at all. That is, there, here we go. We do have problems, so, oh, jeez. Look what happened here. All right, so 72 at Farmingdale. Dew point 68. Wow, it's a lot cooler. 70 at Islip. Boy, I wish it was that cool here. When I got home and looked at the thermometer in my alley, it was 70, almost 78 degrees in the alley. Just unbelievable. It's hotter here than in New Jersey. It's hotter in my alley than it is in New Jersey. I mean, that's how bad things are here. It's the hottest place on Long Island, I'm telling you. That alley is just an alley from hell. Whew. Anyway, so let's go to God, it's stuck again. I was gonna load the high temperatures here. I don't, this site is definitely not working out too well. Let's see if we can load the high temperatures. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with this site. I really don't know. It's so slow. It's not even working. So I'm just wasting your time. Apparently the site is not working, which kind of sucks because I wanted to put the high temperatures on the screen. But you can see we are once again having a problem with the site. The Weather Service, whatever the case says, they don't want to invest in having enough bandwidth to handle all the traffic going through their site. So this is what happens. And therefore, we don't have any. Look at that. We don't have any. Nothing is loading. So, yep. Epic fail. Epic fail. All right. So, we'll have to do the climatology through here. Sorry, we're not going to be able to put the highs and the lows on the map for you. But, again, this site is not working. So, let's try this. Islip got up to 81 degrees. Normal high 80. So only 1 degree above normal there. Low is 66, or 2 degrees above normal. So 2 degrees above normal for the day. You know, typical, more typical of August, but still, at least it felt like a summer day today. And the sun was out for a lot of us, so, you know, it was a decent summer day for people, even though it was humid. Hey, it is summer after all. So 85 degrees in Central Park. It was 2 degrees above normal, so we averaged about 3 degrees above normal for Central Park. And now let's go to Newark. The hot spot, as always, 87. So they were about 3 degrees above normal. I would have liked to have gotten that map to work because it just doesn't want to work. Unfortunately, the site, it's just not working at all. Let me try something. Oh, there we go. Look at this. All right. Oh my God. All right. Well, you can sort of see how it was warmer in the middle of the island here. 87. Man, I don't know what's going on here. All right, we have some numbers now. So, see, low 80s, but then as you get to my area, still low 80s for highs. But then as you get into New Jersey, this is where things heat up. I see temperatures upper 80s to near 90, and an 85 in Tom's River here all the way on the bottom. I'm not even going to try to put the lows on here because it's probably not going to work. So, whatever the case is, let's spread this out across the country now. And you can see we have air quality alerts in effect in Maine due to wildfire smoke. We have severe weather, tornado watch in I'm keeping the highs on the screen here. Tornado watches in parts of Kentucky, severe thunderstorm watches through much of the South, and heat advisories and excessive heat warnings in parts of Texas. And I kept the highs on the screen as well so you can see how hot it got everywhere. Let's put this back to the actual station plot here. You can see where we got these air quality alerts. Let's see if they're reporting smoke. 3-mile visibility with mist at Millinocket. Somehow I don't think that's mist. And of course, let's get to the Berlin light rain falling. Let's see. Trying to see if anyone's reporting smoke in the air because we do have air quality alerts in effect here. Air quality alert 11 p.m. this evening. So much of the northern interior northeast is dealing with air quality alerts due to that wildfire smoke that is making its way down from Canada. You can see a north-northwest wind there. We're not going to deal with any of that, fortunately. I just see mist being reported here, so I guess maybe they are actually getting mist, or unless it's actual smoke and the sites are just not reporting it properly. Let's see what we got here in Canada. Well, let's see how Montreal is doing here. Montreal. Let's get the Montreal Airport. Montreal International Airport, north of 2. Smoke being reported there. So there is smoke, wildfire smoke being reported there. And let's see what their visibilities are actually worse. Look at that. They got down to a mile visibility there. Actually, less than a mile in smoke. That is pretty bad. So, yeah, they had some pretty bad air quality there in Montreal. Fortunately, we're not getting into any of that. Instead, we have the humidity, but it's better than dealing with the smoke, I think. And as long as we have a south flow, we won't have to deal with the smoke too much. We just have to deal with the high dew points, and you can see these dew points, generally speaking, were around 70 degrees today. So it's tropical air right from the Caribbean, which happens to actually, even though it be very humid, the quality of the air is actually pretty good. That's why if you ever go to Florida, even though it's hot, it's humid. You notice they have blue skies. It usually doesn't get hazy in Florida. Same reason. Because they have that flow off the Caribbean and the air quality is good. Even though it's hot and humid, it's good air quality. And that's what made it, I think, more bearable today. Even though when you look at it on paper, it looked uncomfortable. It really, yeah, you got sweaty, but, it just didn't feel as yucky as when we had all that smoke in the air. So let's go to the radar here for the country, and you'll see what we have going on. So you see there's another low pressure system over the Great Lakes that's going to move into place. Here's all that severe weather in the south going on right now. And again, this is our low pressure system. So we go to the weather map. You'll see here's our next low pressure system. It's going to be moving in, bringing a bigger rain chance for tomorrow. And then we have some drier air, but this thing is going to move so slowly across the country. If we go to the Storm Prediction Center, which I should have up here somewhere. I think this is it. All right, you can see there's an enhanced risk in that Kentucky area. That seems to be the bullseye with severe weather, and a lot of enhanced and elevated risk, elevated risk around that. Or should I say slight? The yellow is slight. Move this along to tomorrow, and you can see there were 4 reports of tornadoes today. Let's move this to tomorrow and look at tomorrow, because this is going to involve us now. So here we go with that low pressure system infecting us, and you can see they've put us in a slight risk. Most of Long Island is slight risk, except for eastern Suffolk County. And New Jersey, the southern half of it from south of the Raritan, enhanced risk. So tomorrow is going to be a lot more active than today. If we go look at the Philadelphia office, I don't think there was any severe weather as far as, we can look at storm reports and see if anything actually occurred there. I will want to look at rainfall amounts. That's a beautiful picture right there. There were some severe thunderstorm warnings issued, and as well as some flash flood warnings, because they've gotten a lot of rain. Northeast Philly apparently got hit very hard with all that rain. We'll go to the text product, because Mount Holly never wants to link their storm reports for whatever reason. They just don't want to do that. Our weather service in New York is much better when it comes to that. Let's see if we can get a local storm report. If that works. Well, I don't know. It's not working. So instead, let's go to this, and I'll put precipitation in, and maybe it seems like I said, the NOAA weather sites are having problems. So let's go to the 24-hour rainfall. Nothing over Long Island, but again, parts of New Jersey. Not Tom's River itself didn't, like I said, the shore area. All right, they got 0.39, but the heavier stuff was just inland, right in the center of the Pine Barrens. Believe it or not, over an inch of rain. This is going to end the fire threat for much of the Pine Barrens here. Jackson, Manchester Township, over an inch there. Over half an inch there in the heart of the West Pine Plains that they've got there. That's Coyle Field. So yeah, the Pine Barrens in New Jersey got plenty of rain. As you go further west here, you'll see even higher rainfall amounts here of over an inch in some of these eastern Pennsylvania areas. But nothing really much for us at all. Maybe the North Shore got a little something. Yeah, that shower. I got a quarter of an inch out of that shower. That was pretty much it. Let's go to the Wonder Map, which will give us some more precipitation numbers while we're at it. So has a few more sites. I'm kind of curious about that shower at the North Shore. Some areas might have gotten over a quarter of an inch, but other than that, most of the action was in Jersey. And you can see this is where, again, that southern part of Jersey. Very patchy with the numbers here. Again, right along the shore, if you reach the Parkway, you barely got anything. But as you go west, that's where you start seeing the numbers. Manchester Township, not that much, 0.12. But as you're going more toward Lakehurst, I guess you can see Browns Mills. And there were some big fires here in these areas, too, around Ong's Hat. Remember that? 1.72. So they're not going to have to worry about that. Tabernacle, over an inch. It's over for them. No more. Shouldn't have to deal with any more big wildfires occurring with all that rain. That should put an end to their wildfire threat. And that's good, because we have enough fires burning in Canada. We don't need any more. So let's look at the National Hurricane Center now. Well, let's see if we can get that local. All right, here we go. So here are the storm reports. There was some flash flooding. Minor flood stage in 23 minutes. Crested and moderate flood stage. So they actually had some flooding in Philadelphia. What's at the base of Connie Street. And that's where that whole 95 closure happened. I think they just recently reopened part of it. Camden. So Camden and Philadelphia got a lot of flooding, it looks like. Funnel cloud near Raritan and Somerville has since lifted. Pictures and video received. So this is funnel cloud. Hail in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. So again, the action was mostly west of the Hudson. They got some hail there. Hail in Camden, Berlin, Camden County at Atco, quarter-inch, pea-size hail. So again, these storms were pretty strong. And thunderstorm wind damage, too, reported in Camden. Trees down. Large tree off State Avenue and Stone Road, Lindenwold. We'll have to see if there was some tornadoes, perhaps. This looks like straight-line wind damage, but they'll have to see. Trees down Winding Way in Gibbsboro in Camden County, New Jersey. This is like western, right on the western edge of the Pine Barrens there. Look at that. A 69-mile-an-hour wind gust reported in Chester, Pennsylvania. Wow, that is impressive. And again, these storms meant business. If we go to the Ventus sky, we wind this back here, when these storms are really going, you could see how bad they were. And you can see here they had, some of them had the white on them, which was for hail. Some of these cells had white. So some of these cells are pretty strong. That developed again. All that because it was hotter over New Jersey. That's where the lift was. That's where you had your, little, almost little area of low pressure circulating there. You could see the spin when we were looking at the satellite. So that's where you had your little area, low pressure right there. So yeah, a lot of storm reports here. Pretty impressive to say the least. And again, I'm kind of curious about those rainfall totals in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's where we saw that 1 inch plus, and it came down very, very quickly too, I might add. So if we do go to the rivers and lakes here, data viewer here, which we can do. I don't see anything at flood stage right now. So whatever it is, it did pass through quickly. But it was just a lot of rain in a short amount of time. That's what did it, Let's go back to the satellite imagery, and we'll look at the northern part of Canada. The northern part of North America, and mainly Canada, just to get an idea of the smoke. So here you can see all the smoke coming off Quebec here, and Quebec province and Ontario. There's a cold front approaching here. This is probably going to cause the fires to get even worse and kick up the winds even more. And as far as where that smoke is wound up, if we pull this out, you'll see that it's actually going across the Atlantic, and it looks like it is making its way over. I don't know, no islands here, I don't think. Maybe a few islands, aren't they? The Azores or something like that. It might be making, and it's going to make its way into Europe probably tomorrow. So Ireland, the United Kingdom, maybe France, and even Spain might wind up getting into this. Much of Europe getting a lot of wildfire smoke all the way from North America. Has that ever happened before? Take a look at these fires. They are just going like crazy. They're completely out of control. There's no hope in ever controlling them. They're going to be burning all summer long. There's nothing they can do to stop it. It's only going to get worse. So let's go to the models here. We'll look at the pattern that we are in. Oh, yeah, the tropics. That's right. I almost forgot. Cindy, I'm just going to go over this real brief here because it's just weakening. Maximum It's moving northwest at 16 miles an hour. Its current location 21.9 north, 59 west. It's moving northwest at 16, and it's about to become a depression. So I'm not even going to focus on this because it's going to be fading away probably by tomorrow night. So let's go to the North American view here, and we'll look at the jet stream here on the GFS. Our jet stream, of course, is a mess, as you see. It's very wavy. It's diffused. It's totally not normal what we have going on. And that continues this week because we have here's another low coming through for Tuesday. And then that low comes in, and then it moves a little further. It kind of gets stuck over us, or just over us on Thursday. So it's going to mean another unsettled week again. And do we see any change? No, we don't. Here comes another low and another one. But you'll see times that we might have some northwest flow. So that means get ready for maybe we're going to have a smoky July 4th. It could be very possible. The smoke will be back, and we will have another day like that day we had where it was just orange. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen again, and maybe even worse. But you'll see here, no real change in the pattern. Let me go to the European model now. We're going to look at the 12Z European model. So here's the 12Z European model, and see if there's any difference. And it is a little different. Seems like it's a little sharper with that trough, and it moves it a little further offshore and gives us a northwest flow, which could mean smoke by the next weekend. So European does look a little different. If we look at the 500 MB height anomaly here, you'll see, and the European called this right. So, sometimes the European was right. It called it when it said that this we'd get into this wet pattern when the other models were saying we wouldn't. So here's that trough again, and you see that big ridge in Canada. Nothing changes up there, which means, unfortunately, the fires will continue to burn. There won't even be that much rain because you see there's a lot of ridging up there, some really high heights. Here's the GFS looking a little different with that trough. It kind of hangs it back a little bit and keeps us in more of a moist flow, but you'll see again that trough. And then eventually, toward the end of the period, it does put a trough in eastern Canada by the middle of July, which might help bring some precipitation to that area. If we look at the rainfall here, you'll see going into this week, it looks like it's showing some rainfall over there, but it won't be very much. It'll be thunderstorms. It could start more fires, and that's always a concern. And you can see, and toward the end of the period, it does bring some more rain. It looks like maybe it'll bring some more rain through that area. Now, the European is a different look to it. Let's go to that European again. Well, usually I don't show both, but because the Euro looks a little different, that's where we're doing it. Euro is drier for that area, and you can see it has sharper low-pressure systems coming through than the GFS. So there's some, slight differences with that. But whatever the case is, nothing's really going to change much in the next week. Let's go to the CONUS view here. Look at the surface again. So this is the GFS, and you'll see there's that low that we're going to be dealing with. It gets a little better by Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe we get out of the humidity a little bit, but we could get into a northwest flow. You got to remember, there's no real cold air up there in Canada. It's pretty warm up there too. So even if we get a northwest flow, it's not really going to cool us off all that much. All right. Looking at your temperature anomaly charts, and this is always the problem here. If we go look up in Canada, you'll see huge temperature anomalies continue up in that area where the fires are burning. We're above normal for tomorrow. Then for the rest of the week, we're near normal and humid. But you'll see, keeping your eye way up where those fires are burning, you'll still see huge temperature anomalies. So as long as it remains warm and dry, these fires are going to continue to burn. You'll see some below normal temperatures on the GFS going into next weekend. But no real sustained heat in the east. You do see a little more heat building in the northwest. There is some relief for Texas and the south. But as far as any, major change in pattern, you'd have to wait until we go well into July to maybe get into a little bit of a cool down there. That's when it's showing, mid-July, it's showing some kind of flip in the pattern. But whether that actually happens or not is another story. Because again, let's go look at the European model. And you'll see the European doesn't really show it as much. So keep that in mind. The European does show a bit of a warm-up for the east. So whatever the case is, there's no real major change, especially for Canada. Those fires will continue to burn. Let's go to the Let's go to the northeast, and we'll look at the HRRR model, our short-range model, as we head into tomorrow, because we're going to be dealing with storms tomorrow. So looking first, you'll see there could be a couple of showers popping up in the morning, overnight, then maybe another complex pops up like in the late morning hours. And then it seems like it keeps the severe stuff off to the west tomorrow until we get to the evening. There's a bad line that does develop in eastern Pennsylvania, and this may hit us around 10 o'clock or so in the evening. We'll have to see what happens with this line. It may hit us later. It may very well fall apart because that time the sun is down, the convection's kind of waning at that point. But you'll see there's that low that's circulating around, and that starts moving slowly northeast. We're still dealing with the southerly flow on Tuesday. So bottom line is it stays humid. So looking at your dew points here, you'll see southerly flow continues tomorrow. Southerly flow, southeasterly flow. So that wind direction means it won't get all that hot. It'll just be humid, though we will have more cloud cover tomorrow. A slight drop in dew points maybe on Tuesday. I still think we stay humid with the southerly flow. You'll see some drier air trying to come in on the back side of this. And where the north winds are is where the smoke is going to come in. So keep that in mind. Let's go to the air temperatures now. So staying warm tonight, but tomorrow won't be quite as warm because we'll have more clouds around. So probably mid to upper 70s, though. Again, it's going to be much, much hotter if you're in New Jersey away from the shore, well into the 80s to near 90 in southwest Jersey. And then tomorrow night, again, we don't drop much. It's muggy. Tuesday, a similar day, mid to upper 70s. And then you'll have those storms again that will pop up, which you can clearly see right here. Now, let's go into the GFS. We'll go a little further along here throughout the week and look at our dew points. So here we go into Tuesday, and you can see drier air tries to get in here on Wednesday. Drier air is trying to get in here on Wednesday and Thursday. And this, like I said, this may not be such a good thing because now we've got that northwest flow. It's going to pull the smoke right down from Canada. So the smoke, the smoke will probably come back at some point during this week, and quite badly too. Once we get those westerly winds coming in, once that low starts moving into that direction. So we could be dealing with a lot of smoke. Here we are Friday, similar thing. And then the humidity comes back by the weekend there. But at least it keeps the smoke away, all right? So once we get that northwest flow, look at July 4th, we start seeing more of a northwest flow. That's when we may have to worry about the smoke. Air temperatures, again, for Tuesday, GFS a little warmer. Wednesday showing maybe 75 to 80, a little cooler on Thursday. And then Friday we could warm up nicely, well to the 80s, maybe near 90 in New Jersey. But then look at what happens on Saturday, much, much cooler, 75 on Sunday. And then we heat up again as we get into July 4th. Maybe we'll see July 3rd. Maybe we'll see some 80s and maybe even 90 degrees. And we haven't had much heat at all this entire summer so far. Not that I'm complaining. So let's look at here. You see scattered nature here, but there's rain chances every day. Drier Thursday and Friday with the northwest flow, but then as we get into Saturday, we may be dealing with a period of rain again. This is the GFS, again, suggesting this. The European is a little different with that. Again, we'll look at the 12Z European. Well, let's see, 12Z European's a little less on the rain. But we'll have to see what happens. We'll worry. Hopefully we don't have a crappy Saturday. I know we had kind of a crappy Saturday yesterday. But right now it's showing, as far as temperatures in the European go, it's showing just a chance of showers. So let's now go back to the HRRR. I know we're bouncing around a lot here, but I want to look at the soundings for tomorrow, just to look at the instability levels that we may have. So let's go to 2 o'clock. Well, that's 2. Let's go to 3 o'clock. Yeah, we do have that instability there. Not terrible. It's worse in Jersey. Yeah, it's worse in Jersey. But it's definitely something that we're going to have to watch out for with that instability. We will go to Ventus Sky as well and look at that as well. So let's talk about the skies. Starting with the RGM first, we'll look at the skies, obviously. We had a nice sky today. Tomorrow we'll have more clouds, but there could still be some breaks of sun, though we'll have more and more clouds around, I think, than today. And then for Tuesday, Tuesday is going to be a fairly cloudy day. I think it's showing a lot of clouds again with that southerly flow, a lot of clouds around, and then maybe by Wednesday we can start getting rid of the clouds. But remember that we will be dealing with more smoke once we get into that northwest flow. I think that's a certainty, and I think we could have another very bad air quality day as we get toward the end of this week, perhaps. Let's look at the GFS. I know it's a low-resolution cloud model, but we'll look at that just to get an idea. And you can see, again, as you get toward Wednesday, you'll see more sun. I say that lightly. There'll be sun, but it will be extremely smoky and hazy once those winds go to the northwest and north. So keep that in mind as we get toward the end of the week. Okay, Ventu Sky is next. Let's go there. Actually, we have the Ventu Sky up already. So let's go to the thunderstorm risk. We'll look at the Cape levels for tomorrow. They're actually pretty good today. Let's go to tomorrow, though. And you'll see, again, the issue is most of it's over New Jersey and interior New Jersey. So, again, with that southeast flow, that marine flow, there is instability, but it helps to stabilize things a little bit. Most of it is inland. Go to 5 o'clock, you see most of it is in Jersey, and it's not here. This looks like a good line right here that could develop. And, again, that's the line that we have to watch for where there's Cape. But you see that Cape just dies out by the time it gets east to here because of that marine flow. Let's go to the lifted index. And you see the lifted index looks good tomorrow. Again, best chances are going to be over New Jersey. But I think if there are severe thunderstorms, the best chance is going to be over New Jersey. With that southerly flow, I just don't see how we're going to get into that, the best threat, unless these storms can move fast enough before they weaken, before they hit the marine air. We'll have to see what happens. Tomorrow could be an interesting day. Obviously, the potential is there, and I think we will see a severe thunderstorm watch issued for New Jersey. Maybe New York City, possibly Nassau. I doubt Suffolk will see it. But certainly if you're in Jersey, you definitely are going to be dealing with more of a severe risk. Let's go to the Climate Prediction Center, finally. And lastly, do the 6 to 10 day outlook. And you'll see near normal on the temperatures, precipitation above normal, 8 to 14 day. Near normal to maybe a little bit below in the mid-Atlantic. And slightly above normal with the precipitation on the 8 to 14 day. Unfortunately, the smoke models, we're having issues with them again. The last run was at 23Z on June 24th. That's it. I don't know why these aren't working. I'm going to try one trick here and open an incognito tab, and maybe that will do it. I doubt it will. I doubt it will fix it, but we can try and see. Maybe there's something with the cookie. No, it's still not low. So whatever the case is, these sites are down again, and this kind of sucks because we need the data from this to make a prediction here as to where the smoke's going to go. Hopefully they fix this because we're going to need this up and running as we get 48 hours from now. Though, again, one can just look at the satellite here and see, but it kind of really sucks that we're not getting, I don't know what's going on here with these smoke models and why they're down. It's a real problem. The only other thing I could do is look at earthandoldskool.net, which is not a vertically integrated smoke model, but it will show particles, and we can look at particles, PM 2.5, and you can see where the smoke is. So we can move this along and see where it goes. I'll move this along and we'll see. Right now it's staying up in Canada. Now we're at 627, so that is Tuesday. Still got the southerly flow. This is only going to go out, take us so far. But you can see that once we get toward that, yep, here it comes. So here we go. We're at 629 now. And there, yeah, you can see it starting to come here. All right, so 629. So the 29th would be, again, when we see that Thursday-ish time frame that we're going to start seeing that smoke come in. Wednesday, Thursday. So get ready. I think we're going to be in store for some more smoke as we go through this week. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.